But this chapter is about changing your thinking about success. Changing your thinking about success. So and he talks about in this chapter how the media tells us how much lack there is. The government tells us how much lack there is. This is not a political statement. I want to say that. I don't care which side of the aisle you're on. It doesn't matter. All government, what kind of lack there is out there, it's lack, right? And so we have to make a choice. Jim actually talked about this yesterday. We have to make a choice to feed our minds with abundance, with abundant thinking, because perception is reality. And if we feed our minds with lack, then we will absolutely believe that lack exists everywhere in more amounts than abundance does. I'm going to go to number 1, and then I want to hear some feedback from you guys, because I don't want to be talking the whole time. You guys are way smarter than I am. I'm telling you, I love the things that you come up with. Number 1, write this down. I've got 3 points to make on this chapter that I took away from it, and then I want to hear what you think. Success is created, not acquired. Okay? Success is created, not acquired. It's not a commodity. Success is something that we make. So I have a question for you. I want you to think about this, and I want to hear what you think. And there's no right or wrong answers, guys. What you think is what you think. In terms of what you believe you can accomplish, here's the question. How is knowing that success is created, not acquired, change or impact your thinking around success? So knowing that success can be created and is not something you acquire, how does that change your thinking around success? All right, let's go to number 2. So number 2, what happens to our thinking when we believe there's a shortage of something?
Give up and start creating every excuse in the world to excuse ourselves for not going after it.
We do. We give ourselves every excuse in the world not to get after it, right? We start thinking there's limited amounts of it, don't we? Right? We think success is not for us. So what happens is we can have that, or there's something else that happens. There's a fear of missing out. Right? And what it does is it gets us into urgency, and then getting into urgency mode can get us off of our plan. How many times have you guys heard me say that? When you stay on your plan and you do the activities that you should be doing every single day at massive levels to reach your massive target, you don't have time to watch what everybody else is doing. It's when we slow down and start scrolling through Facebook that we start having time looking what everybody else is doing. Right? So when we focus on our plan and hitting our goals and hitting our marks, we will have the massive level of results that we are looking for and that we expect ourselves to create, because we haven't spent any of our time listening to everybody else and watching everybody else. I'll tell you again, be a user of Facebook, not a consumer. Be a user of Facebook, not a consumer. Use it to get more business, but don't consume it, because it will consume your time and your schedule, right? It will consume your time and your schedule. I want to read something to you on page 35 that he says, and he talks about why the top people in their game are so successful, is that they do not have a notion of win or lose. Did you guys remember this part from page 35? People, the Bill Gates of the world, the Warren Buffetts of the world, the big major players in the world today, Elon Musk, they don't look at things as a competition where there's a winner and the loser. There's enough out there for everybody to win. Everyone can create their own success. Everyone can create their own win. And by someone else being successful doesn't mean that you will be less successful. Did you guys read that part? That was huge. You know, I see what happens a lot of times. I can use a market center for an example, or real estate for example. We see an agent come into an office, or we see an agent enter into the market, and we have all of these thoughts around their success. And there are people out there, I've heard them, they've talked to me, that would say, well, I think I'm going to be less successful because this person is now a player in the market. Where does that come from? That comes from thinking that we do not have the ability to create our own success. But really what starts happening is when someone successful comes into the marketplace, be it an office, be it an area, or whatever it is going to massively create more focus, more talk, create more excitement around that one thing, which then by that elevates your own business. The tide rises, guys. The tide rises. So the top people in their game, they don't get caught around this fact that because other people are successful in doing something, I can't have that much success because my opportunity for success has been taken away. Once you get caught into that thought and that mindset, you're on your way to a downward spiral to not reaching your own goals. So on page 35, Grant Cardone says, the reality with regard to success in business and life is not a win or a lose. And big thinkers don't think this way. Instead, they think without limits, something that allows them to soar to levels that many others consider impossible. Financial legend Warren Buffett's success is not capped or limited because of someone else's investment strategies. And in no way does his financial prowess confine or limit my ability to create financial success for myself. So when we look at the top agents in the marketplace and what they're doing, or maybe agents that are in our office that are maybe at a higher level in volume than we are, that should motivate you to know that it can be done, so you can do it too, right? You can do it too. Big thinkers think in ways that there is enough real estate for everyone. There is enough of this for everyone. There's enough of that for everyone. And we celebrate other people's success because that means if they can achieve it, so can we. We don't hate on it. I love it in the Audible version. He's like, don't be a hater. Don't be a hater. Here's number 3. Change your thinking, change your world. Let's go to page 37. To get beyond the shortage myth, you have to shift your thinking to see that others' achievements actually create an opportunity for you to win as well. Success for anyone or any group is ultimately a positive contribution to all people and all groups, as it provides validation of the possibilities to all. So here's what I want to leave you with today. When you look out in the marketplace today and you see other folks succeeding at a very high level, the moment that you might have that thought that you have any kind of negative feeling around that, think for a moment about your ability to create that same amount of success or more, because you can. Every single person, if you choose to, can be a millionaire. Every person on this call today, if you choose to take the massive action necessary and have the daily commitment to your targets, if your goal is to be a millionaire, you can do that. If your goal is to sell 10 million, you can do that. Whatever your target is, whatever your 10x target is, you can do it. It's all up to you. It's your choice. Is that scary for anybody?
Hey, Becky, it's Nick.
Hey, Nick.
I think what a lot of people need to realize is that everybody started in the same spot. Mm-hmm. That, you know, even if someone that did one transaction last year, they all started in the same spot. So literally what you're teaching everyone is to have the mindset of a winner. And if you don't have that mindset, it's not going to happen. So there needs to be a shift in that brain that says, I can do it, because most of it is confidence and knowing that you're able to do it. And if you don't build it up a little bit at a time, it's not going to happen by failing. And I love everything you're talking about right now, and I appreciate it. So, I mean, I myself, I went from, doing 3 million a year by myself to hitting 20 million this year in only 4 years of real estate. So, it's a lot of it is mindset, and a lot of it is growth, and from failing forward is the way you make it happen.
Absolutely. Thank you, Nick, for sharing that. I appreciate that so much. And you know what? I love what he just said, is that everybody starts from the same place, but you get the opportunity to choose how you walk forward, right? You get the opportunity to choose how you walk forward. Okay, guys, next week, here's what we're going to start doing. We're going to start compiling 2 chapters a day at a time. So that way we can get started on our next journey together. So next week, if you would, I want you to read chapters 6 and 7, because these are really, really deep chapters, but they go together really well. Come with your thoughts, with your actions. Here's the next thing I want to ask you. Your 10X target for this month, where are you? So now I'm going to get into coaching mode. Where are you on your 10X target for the month? And what actions do you need to take today to get moving towards that target if you're not there? And what actions, and if you are there, if you are on target, so we're on day 8, so you should be actually at about 25 to 30% of your target for the first quarter already, January, February, March. And if you're not, it's okay, because you get the opportunity to put actions in place to get there. It's okay. But choose to do it today, because the longer you delay, the longer you're going to get behind. All right. So I love you guys. I look forward to seeing you on Monday. Have a massively awesome weekend and enjoy. Talk to you soon. Bye.